All right, is everybody recording now? Is everybody ready?
Chrissy, why are you not recording? Why is Osti not recording?
Nobody else needs to mess this up anymore.
It's been messed up enough this week. All right, wait, I gotta get back to the top. Yes, we're gonna do a 3-second screech to just remind everybody of what last week sounded like. Ah! Okay, we are sorry if that was you, but now we did it better. Welcome to Everyone Racers, a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture. It doesn't matter what kind of Lemma Champ or Lucky Track Dog League you run, SCCA or NASA, we won't discriminate, as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself. Join us each week for tech discussion, tips, tricks, news, and notes in the world of amateur endurance racing. And whether it's on the spot, hella sweet, or we're lucky enough and Chrissy gives us just the tip, we're sure you'll giggle a little and learn even less. Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm mental.
Sorry, there was a little delay there. Thanks for coming back and listening to a Holden straight six engine episode of our podcast. It's episode 186. If you're not driving your Holden, or any other car for that matter.
Holden, you're driving.
Sure. Get out your E1R bingo card, because you never know what's going to come up on the show. Let's kick it off. What you working on, Jeff?
I'm working on silencing my phone because we are T-minus several hours from leaving from Pittsburgh, and our Slack, our race team Slack, yes, to Pittsburgh for a race, and our Slack is blowing up with all of our foolish friends saying, "Oh, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?" So let's go around the block. Mental, are you ready?
No, not at all. Still got to pack. I leave it hella early tomorrow morning, and I know what the stencil is going to look like. I just haven't made it yet.
Chris and Chrissy, are you ready?
Hell yeah, we are.
Yeah. As ready as we possibly can be at this time.
Somebody ask me.
Jeff, are you ready?
We know.
Yeah. This is all exactly what we all knew would have been the answers from all four of us.
So what am I working on is basically, am I ready? We thought the car would be done this weekend, but Jeff needs readers, and he accidentally ordered 6mm tube instead of 8mm tube from FireSense to finish the fire system, because we put the bottle in the back of the Z and it had to stretch all the way to the front. And yeah, so it was like small little numbers, and I read it looked like a 6 because it was half rubbed off, and I should have got my readers, but it's okay. It arrived today. We leave tomorrow.
That's true.
And yeah, so there it is. But we did the rest of it. We plumbed the entire fire system. The center console is all put together. It's 4 screws away. I did a bunch of reinforcement on the dashboard because I was really worried that the dashboard was going to shake, and it's got a lot of things kind of bolted to the dashboard itself. We're not used to having dashboards. We usually just clear all that crap out. But in the Z, we are saving all the HVAC, so that when it snows or rains,
for all future race cars.
Yeah, you could be right. Defroster is now a important part of every single race car. So, but anyway, so I like bent a piece and I put some bolts in it and everything else. We cleaned the hell out of it.
I'm sorry, you know what that word means?
I do.
What?
So there was still a lot of errant drill shavings and floor sound deadening and stuff that is kind of like all over the place. And we couldn't for the life of us get the seat to adjust. And we tried our darndest. And I even called Chris. I was like, did the seat work when you put it in? He's like, yeah, it works. I'm like, well, it don't work now. So we took it all apart and we found a bent part of the help me out, Jeep TJ. The group, the Jeep TJ slider has a U-shaped bar that pulls down, and it pulls teeth out of the slider to get it to slide. And
they like rotate.
They like rotate down. Yeah, exactly. We're doing, the YouTube people can see this. They do this. One side was moving and the other side wasn't. And it was because the U had closed a little bit. So it wasn't I'm just going to do that. It wasn't doing that. So we got
The
that
handle
all done.
wasn't working right. There you
Yeah,
go
exactly.
for
Thank
audio
you.
listeners.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's what it is. But what's left? I have to pack everything. New car version. So there's a lot of crap that's in the trailer that's got to get out because we don't need it anymore, like Z intake manifolds and Z parts that we just don't care about. And then all the stuff that we've been stockpiling has to go in the trailer. So yeah, a lot of stuff to do. Go ahead, Mental. You have a question?
I feel like, I feel like new car or no, this is actually kind of on schedule for you. Bunch of crap you don't need needs to come out of the trailer. Bunch of crap you haven't packed yet needs to go in the trailer the day before you leave. That actually tracks.
There's
Normally
usually
that's usually a text I get as we're pulling out of the CNC Mayhem factory is, hey Jeff, have you left yet? And it's no, still pulling crap out of the trailer.
Yeah. But usually there's a baseline of stuff that I need in the trailer. That baseline is not there.
Because you haven't used that trailer for a car for a long time.
A long time. Yep. Since Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it was sometime the end of 2 years ago ish, maybe.
Whenever we had the solstice.
when your wife had to sit in
Yeah.
it and you had to push the
the last time
Solstice was New Hampshire 2 years ago. New Hampshire of 19.
When did we bring the Triumph? Because I did that.
I've
That was
raced
spring
the
of 19.
Solstice twice.
And then
We had to bring
Hamsa's
two
car.
cars.
And then Hamsa's car.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
What, 19. Anyway, keep going.
That was it. That was the end of my list. Do we want to go to Mental or do we want to go to Chris and Chrissy? Let's go to Chris.
Let's go to Chrissy.
Sure.
Chrissy, you're
You go. Okay. She pointed at me and said, I go. Final car prep for the Mazda. Because it's actually strapped into the trailer right now. It's done.
Ah, you suck.
I know, right?
And everything is super packed and
Sucky suck.
Yeah.
strapped
The
on.
only thing we have left to pack is food and my clothes.
yeah,
And
clothes.
that's it. And we can't pack the food now because it's in a cooler. What is it, Metal? Are you
Again,
broken?
this sounds exactly on brand because normally, as one of you picks me up from the airport and if we arrive in front of the CNC Mayhem factory, the trailer is loaded up. We wake up early and I help carry out the cooler to the trailer. This is
Not like-
so normal.
Not every time. There's sometimes we've had a show or two that Chris has been in the garage. We've been scrambling a little. So sometimes it
Absolutely,
happens.
No, this is we hit our stretch goals this time. So anyway, on the Mazda, Eric came up to help, and he and Chrissy and I worked on the car. Yeah, exhaust is all finished. Swapped the 2.5 MZR intake manifold onto the car. I had to make some stuff work and make some brackets and extend some wires and stuff, but it's all on. Did the last of the gauge senders. Did an alignment, which included slotting the strut towers to get as much camber as we could, which I got 2.9. That's it. That's all
That's
I'm gonna
really
get.
good.
But that's good enough. I'll take it.
Yeah.
And then loading up, packing, cooking, making wart burgers, bacon, various other delicious things for all y'all. Well, not all y'all, for our team. Sorry, everybody.
This is literally last night at 2 a.m. I forgot to mention this. This is the scraps from cutting all of the like toe stickers and stuff for all the cars.
Excellent.
I was doing that
Just
too.
been cutting vinyl. Fantastic. Great. So yeah, we have one registration and 2 cars. I think this is one of the smarter things we've ever done.
I think what you said earlier, we made our stretch goals. We really
Yeah.
did.
We
Yeah.
did. Well, we'll see how both cars handle. Or
Doesn't
Yeah,
mean
well,
it's going to
fair.
work out.
We do what we could
Yeah.
up till now.
Chrissy, go ahead.
Okay, mine's quick. I was also helping with the car. I helped Eric work on a manifold swap, injector swap, intake swap, and various cleaning and all that good stuff. Started doing a lot of packing for our pit. Our pit's all packed and ready to go. We packed out of the truck as much as we possibly could, and we've been cooking a ton. So we did all of the cooking that we'd like to have fresh-ish tonight, like eggs and potato salad and all that good stuff. So it's been a very busy few days, but we are ready to go.
You did a
Mental.
lot of time cleaning the trailer too, honey. Like we
did.
found all the Honda bits that we don't need to carry
said-
around.
I
with
was
us
like,
all
what
the
is this?
That's what I
time.
got to do. I got a lot
Yeah.
of bits that
Like-
got to get
Except
out.
ours are all in a toolbox in one place. Yours are in a detritus pile.
Yeah, a bit.
Yes.
We're in the front half. Of the
Boom.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Drop a little thesaurus action on you.
Yeah.
Detritus.
But ours was just in the drawer, so I opened every drawer and said, pretty sure this is a filter, a oil filter, an ECU, injectors, all the Haynes manuals. Like we need it. Like Chris needs a Haynes manual. Come on. But anyway,
Chris is a Haynes
I don't know
manual.
every
Chris
torque
is a
spec.
Haynes
But yeah, I was
manual.
gonna say you need it for
Then
the
you
torque
have
spec
the
chart.
Googles.
You could literally tear the torque
Some-
spec chart out and
some
keep it-
tracks.
Oh my god, you
just
just
can't-
stick it to
yeah.
the right. Anyway, yeah. So we took all that stuff out. I carried armloads of stuff that was no longer needed, and yeah, so I did a little bit of that too. Hard cleaning.
Wow. Mental, what are you doing?
Mental, what are you doing?
So I spent a lovely weekend with Mark Francis Catering and occasional vintage car racing up at Spring Mountain in Pahrump, Nevada. The dogs are very happy because when I arrived there on Friday night, Vicky was entertaining a relative in town. They smelled the roasted pig. And of course, everyone was like, "Oh my God, your dogs are so cute."
Oh,
That
how
little one
big do
bark-
their eyes? They go from like normal to like
Yeah,
dollar size right there.
because he walked over. Carl, one of the chefs / engineers, walks over with like the skin, the crispins, as Kurt would call it.
Chicharrones.
Rika just sat there trying to be as pleasant as possible, but you could see her butt wiggling on the pavement because she was so excited. He's like, "Can she?"
Your
I'm like,
dogs
"Yeah,
are
I gotta- I
famous
could
for
just-"
this.
So yeah, they were doing that, and then it was the same thing as man, your dogs are so chill, except for that little one. Man, he barks. But
But he's
anyway,
nice. He's the nicest Chihuahua you will meet.
exactly.
He is the nicest Chihuahua.
On a Chihuahua scale, wonderful dog. On a dog scale, terrible dog.
Okay, fine.
Made a second stupid decision that I posted on our Instagram, and I believe the best comment was, "Find a more mental or a more picture depictive of mental. I'll wait." So I now have 2 914s, but it's a good omen because if you haven't seen today's blip shift,
I did actually.
so
Oh,
you
he
guys-
posted
you
it to
guys-
the Slack.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I now have 2. One's a wide body. And
Did Vicky just learn of this right now?
No. So I got busted. I got busted Friday night because I was cleaning off the trailer because I had to use the wheels of the 914 because the guy had bought it just for the wheels and gave me the rest of it. So I had to bring my wheels up, and Vicky's like, "Well, you're taking the RV to the track Saturday?" Yeah. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'll take the dogs with me. I'll spend the night. That way you don't have to worry about coming home, and you can hang out with your cousin. She goes, "Oh, okay. Yeah. What do you clean the trailer off for?" I'm just rearranging some stuff.
Oh
"Why you
my
cleaning off the
God,
trailer?"
you're
I'm just putting.
That's
Wait, Mental is doing extra work for not a whole lot of reason?
and she just goes, "You got
When-
fucking another one, didn't you?"
When you're caught in a lie, it is best not to continue. making
Did
excuses.
not lie. Did not lie. Just bobbed and weaved, and still got nailed right on it. So then that was shuffling all that stuff around. Did get a track day in the Mercedes, and as I was texting Chris all day Saturday, the Mercedes does not like track days in Vegas. Nope. 5 laps into a 25 lap session, the transmission goes, 9. I will not allow you to be doing the shifting anymore. I will not handle the shifting. And then 2 laps after that, 9. You may not have all of the power. You are not good. No. So I was just cutting all my sessions short. So it is probably going to lose the 4-point harnesses and be retired from track day duty. It's capable, but it is not up to sustain stuff. And the fact that it was
Well,
going
you're
into
just like
self-preservation mode.
In
You're
the
like-
heat.
dripping in 914s. Why would you bother?
Yeah, it's the heat. That's the
But-
problem. Like it used to do plenty of track stuff with us, but a
Yeah,
long
it
session
is.
in desert heat with a 500 horsepower car that, okay.
A 4,600 pound, 500 horsepower car. It spent a lot of the day vet hunting.
Yeah.
How is that possible? Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah. Air conditioned seats are on. But yeah.
Nice.
So-
That is the best part of it.
I actually did. My buddy that got me invited to that, I was within a 10th of a second of his C5 Z06.
Nice.
Yep. So it's when it's on, but when it's had enough, it quits.
Nice.
So, that
Cool.
was my week.
And we're going to see you in a couple of days, right? Very exciting.
Yes. Roughly about the time Jeff will start packing his trailer, I'll be boarding an airplane.
Truth.
So, hey, tomorrow night, gonna party. Woo.
News and notes time. I'm so excited. I'm going racing. It's been so long. It feels like it. little misty. This is going to be all over the morning radio, but you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, if you yell at your Tesla, it will respond. We know that it has voice commands, but this is a funny one. Apparently, if you yell, Tesla, open butthole. And by the way, if you're sitting in a Tesla listening to it, and I just triggered that, you have to tell us. Tesla, open butthole.
We
If
only
you do
know
that-
one Tesla owner.
If you do that in your Tesla, the door to the charging port is supposed to open. There are internet videos to confirm it works. Craigers, if you're out there, if you're listening, tell us. If not,
He's going to be there
show
this
us
weekend.
All right, then we're
in
going
his
to have to check
Tesla.
it out.
So Jeff, you can yell "open butthole"
I
at
am
his
so
Tesla
excited
yourself.
to yell "open butthole" right at Craigers' face.
And
There's a-
expect to not have fun in the penalty box if you
yeah,
do that.
It's all right. The car's. what are the chances we're going to get laps?
We'll probably be in the
And
penalty
if
box
I
just
do-
to hang out.
Why am I going to get a penalty? So anyway, a Jalopnik article took this literally as is and annoyed that the charging point isn't necessarily the Tesla's butthole because it's kind of on the side. I don't need to get there. Either way, Tesla, sense of humor, you're the best. That's why someday I will own one. Next.
Yamaha Motors has unveiled a new electric motor the company claims has industry-leading power density. Yamaha says the motor is aimed at hyper EV models and, quote, other offerings in the high output mobility segment, end quote. That means all kinds of fun. The company says it'll begin accepting orders for commissioned prototype development now. So since 2020, they've been working on accepting orders for prototype electric motors between 50 and 200 horsepower for motorcycles and cars and other stuff, but now they're up in the game. The company says the main feature of this new 469 horsepower electric motor is its compact construction that treats the mechanical and electrical components as a single entity, integrating the gearbox and the inverter into one assembly.
That's
The
like way
idea-
too technical.
Right. Well, it's the whole thing's together.
Yeah.
You just add electrons and an axle, and that's
I
it.
actually understand, which
makes
is
sense.
frightening because I understand exactly what he's saying.
Yeah. So the idea is to use multiple motors on a single vehicle. So like you put two of them into an electric sports car, and that was 938 horsepower. And then Yamaha showed a skateboard chassis that could incorporate four of them for all-wheel drive and 1,877 horsepower. But it's stuff like this that as this kind of stuff builds into the aftermarket, this is where the home enthusiasts can potentially start to do stuff with this. Like if you get an integrated power package where you make mounts, you add the wires from the electrons of your choice, however you want to do the battery pack thing, and then add the axle. I mean, getting rid of the extra packaging of the inverter and the gearbox and all that stuff. Like maybe you mount this in the back of just old rear wheel drive car.
914.
Yeah,
914.
Yeah.
Or
Or
when-
912.
When
Bradley,
is
if you're
someone
out
going to
there.
make a way to integrate an electric motor where a Ford 9-inch used to go?
Yes.
Oh,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Like, think about that kind of stuff.
I know we have people who don't always know exactly what we're talking about because we do technical terms. So I want to just do you know what this is? This is jargon giraffe. You said something in jargon. I'm going to make sure you correct it. By skateboard.
Jargon giraffe looks like fantastic
Jargon
shark.
giraffe. No.
Surprisingly,
It's a
actually.
thing. I work in student affairs, everybody. If somebody says something you don't understand, you go, oh. Skateboard. By skateboard, you mean a full-size car that is flat and you could put anything on top of it.
Yes,
Correct.
any body on top. It's
You
full-
don't mean
Thank you
like
for jargon giraffe.
you
I
don't
was
mean like
this
a
is the most
skateboard,
amazing
like-
skateboard
like
ever.
the thing that I ride and sketch off the back of the bumper.
This is
of-
not Marty McFly.
Yes.
This is the four wheels with
Our-
drive and propulsion that you put
the
whatever body you want.
Volkswagen ID4 is a skateboard. It's the same electric car with bodies on top of it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Outstanding.
I'm excited for the next story.
All right. So Lawrence stole father of F1 pilot, is selling Canada's historic Mont Tremblant racing circuit. Hazel Southwell over at the Drive notes that it is one of the fashion magazine magnet's first motorsports purchases. It actually predates the career and I think birth of his Formula One driving son. Hazel explains how he completely revamped and ultimately saved the circuit, which had been abandoned and fallen into complete disrepair. It, however, is doomed. A Canadian judge has ruled that any noise above 55 decibels with deviations up to 58 decibels at the point of reception of natural persons who reside or have resided in the close zone constitute a nuisance which exceeds the tolerance limits, end quote. This violates the original agreement with the track that dates back to the 70s. For scale, a normal human conversation is 58 decibels. Friday night, Jeff and I will have a conversation probably about 75 decibels. So the only thing that was actually allowed to race there last year during the Rona was a Nissan Micra Cup. Oh. And they think even that one may have busted the noise limits. And it's a shame because it's a beautiful track, but it is now in a hoity-toity area and it's going to go the way of Lime Rock. Boo.
And other tracks that don't race on
At least
Sundays.
Lime Rock is still running for now. So
facts. So I've got a new respect for Lawrence Stoll. Still don't like his kid, but hey, good on Lawrence.
Stroll.
Yeah.
Yes. Here's a hot take, and it's 180 degrees from mental. Don't like the strolls. Not a single one of them.
Okay. Whatever. All right, moving on. Cameron Nouveau is reporting at Haggerty that Bentley is planning to bring a modified GT3 racers to this year's Pikes Peak, which would be awesome. But let the world know we raced the Rolls first. And yes, Donnie, we know the difference. The Bentley will be powered by a 4.0 liter turbo V8, the same as the production Continental GT V8. The GT3 car puts down more than 5,500 horsepower and a 6-speed sequential gearbox and weighs less than 2,900 pounds. Labeled by the Marquis as the most extreme road car based car in its 101-year history, the Continental features a flamboyant aero package of louvers, splitters, diffusers, and the biggest wing ever fitted to a Bentley. Yes,
we all know Chris is going to say 550 horsepower. Yeah.
550 horsepower?
You said 5,500.
That would be amazing. Sorry. Just 550.
That's like
not much.
It's like a tanker engine. It's one of those ones that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. By the way, they think it's the largest wing ever put on a Bentley. ... By them. They haven't been to like the Bozozuku.
I don't think Bozozuku does Bentleys.
I'm sure somebody did.
It's true. All right, I got a late edition. Harbor Freight has just released a 24-karat gold-plated Icon ratchet.
Oh, I want to say something.
This is the same ratchet I have.
I want to say something.
Gold. Jeff.
You're about a week late. Thank you to the Tool Bear, who told me this about a week ago. Not only did he get it, he showed it. It was real. It was fantastic. It was released on April 1st. I searched all over South Jersey because I was going to buy all of us one. They're only like $70.
Pensocken has it right now.
Oh my God. Why did you tell me that? I got to go.
Pensocken has it right now, and they're 60.
Yes.
And I will say some of the reviews online.
I'm reading the reviews. They're amazing.
It's $59.99, Jeff.
Oh, okay.
And here's the first review that I see. Matches my gold tooth is the title.
Yeah.
I only use the finest things this world has to offer, and this is my ratchet of choice. Anything else would give poor people a false sense of me being lowered to their level when clearly this is not the case.
They're so funny. That's exactly where I went right to. It's pretty good.
So Pensocken, Jeff, in stock. There you go.
Damn it!
I wanted to be in that. I wanted to be in that pitch meeting where the guy says, "We're going to sell a gold-plated ratchet," and like the one new person goes, "You know, we're Harbor Freight, right?"
And someone else goes,
Icon. Yeah, and someone else goes, "No, trust me, our customers are going to laugh and buy these."
Now, you should know that this has been done by other tool companies. Snap-on has done gold ratchets. I believe Sears, Mac, a lot of the major companies have done gold ratchets. They're usually a very limited number, and the gold is on there, but it's a regular ratchet underneath. So a lot of people have used them and say they're great. They just kind of, eventually
is
the
the
gold
same-
wears off.
This is the same 92 3/8 drive one that I have that I think is excellent.
But that's what all the reviews are saying. They're like, this isn't expensive and it's gold and it's amazing. That's what they all say. Wrenching like a boss. Everyone will respect you at work while you and get you a free sparking spot. Make your $20 look like $100 or $20 toolbox. So whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's very funny. I like it. Okay. Anyway,
That
let's
is
move on.
awesome.
You get one, or maybe we need some for Christmas presents.
I know, because I'm posting link in the show notes to the tool review and the Harbor Freight ratchet.
And you know what? I'll say if they showed up at the judges table, I'll just bump you down a class. Why is
Damn.
It's
why is-
thrown out
why-
there.
Oh, you're gonna have to play. Oh, shoot.
Why is Betty suddenly leading C? Oh, I got these 3 gold-plated ratchets. That's why.
Okay. All right. Whoever listens, maybe you'll know.
Don't do that. I am not going to
You will
bump
get in
you
so
down a
much
class.
trouble. Upcoming
I will be fired.
races. Champ Cars having their championship at Road America.
And it's April.
Yes,
Like,
in April.
Why are they doing a championship?
They always
in
do it
April?
like after the year is when they schedule their championship race, and then there was some Rona stuff, and then probably.
All right.
There'll be 60 cars there. 13 of them are going to be BMWs,
Boring.
9 Miatas, 9 Hondas, 3 Porsches, and 18 of the teams are vying for a national title in April. Good luck.
24 Hours of Lemons and your favorite podcast are headed to Pitt Race, or I'm sorry, Pitt's Race. He's looking.
It's like
down. He's not-
Nelson's ledges. Yeah.
So we're going to be at Pitt Race by the numbers. Actually, now when I originally typed this, it was 99 cars. They're down to 98 cars.
Well,
15
it was
being-
originally 100, and you told me the one
Oh,
was out.
I'm
so I
sorry.
went
Okay,
down
so it
to
is 99 cars, 15 BMWs. Boring.
Boring. Sorry, Jeff is showing the Tool Bear review of the gold Harbor Freight ratchet.
Wait, I didn't think Tool Bear was an actual bear.
There's a bear.
It's
This
a
is Little
cartoon bear,
Bears,
yeah.
Chrissy.
A little
This is
bear. He's a
what
big
Jeff
Not
watches
Little
Little Bears.
Anyway, go
I almost met him at SEMA. I'm very excited. Keep going. I'm sorry.
on, Mental.
All right.
Go, Mental. Stop.
99 cars, 15 boring BMWs,
Go
4
racing.
Miatas, 9 Hondas, 4 Porsches, a bunch of old Mopars, a Simca 1204, the
Yeah!
Plymouth Ford, a 76 Dodge Aspen, a 74 Plymouth Grand Fury, the 47 Plymouth Deluxe, a 78 Cordoba, Ta-ling. 82 Omni, along with a Chevy Blazer, an 09 Charger, Cadillac Eldorado Touring Coupe, which is our second one of this year. It's
The
awesome.
et cetera.
Yes, the etc. And 2 Mercury Grand Marquis. And this wasn't typed, or this wasn't my words. It was typed for me, but it is absolutely correct when I say, damn.
Yeah. I early vote here. The race specific trophy is for the best of the group of old Mopars, because that is quite a disparate group, but they're all awesome.
Yes. And we've seen that Aspen before. It's the one that's powered by an Ecotech, which is even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all good. And
I think the ETC we've seen before too. It showed up with all of the interior still in it.
that was an STS.
Oh, that was an STS.
Yeah,
Oh.
an STS. Also, I will say my favorite team name. This is a new team name this year. Unsuccessfully coping with the engineered futility of General Motors small block oiling systems. That is their team name.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
that is wonderful. Yes. So we are so looking forward to seeing everybody stop by and grab an E1R sticker or 2. I got a whole stack up. That'd be great.
Yep.
Alrighty.
More to
anything
come
else
on
there?
that later.
Absolutely. That's our show
Recent
talk.
results.
8ER was just at Pitt Race. Saturday's race had Ruben Performance winning with AF Racing on the same lap, 53 seconds apart. Third place went to Proper Performance. All really carefully crafted team names there. Well done. 12 cars DNF'd. 12. They didn't have that. Well, how many did they have to start with? That's like half the field.
It was only like 30 or 40. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, we were joking last week. It's like we have more people in an HPD2 group than they had in their track. Anyway, with 12 fewer, that's a shame. Sunday was won by the only people left again. It was Random Vandals and AF Racing again. Then Z3 4 Banger in third. SJS was 22nd on Saturday and last on Sunday and 25th. Wah, wah. Sorry, guys.
Champ Car ran their RVA graphics. Oh, my page just literally went out of the way there. Woo-hoo, hold on a second.
That was 59 decibels for reference, folks, just so you know.
Well, we'll find out.
I found it.
Tomorrow.
Monitor?
Tomorrow, Dave will tell us
Yes,
if Jeff is still louder than everyone else or not.
Oh,
and then we
I'm
can
sorry.
adjust. But you don't sound as loud this week as you did
No,
last
no,
week. Like last week, we were saying, turn the mic down.
Yeah. I'm on my other computer tonight, so that's why it's helping.
The one that was busted.
Yes, the one that was busted. Champ Car ran their RVA graphics and wraps Daytona Beach 14 hours at Daytona. First was Team Infinity's 94 J30. 2 laps back was Team London's boring E34. And a mere 2 seconds back was the Rockwell's Boxster. Daring Greatly Racing, the first team with a good name in their Cadillac CTS, finished 58th. Fat Cracks Honda was 63rd. Show friend Lester Epps took his second class win of the season with the John Player Special Mini Cooper. And there was literally at work early Monday morning after a 4-hour flight delay to get home. So race all weekend, sell on Monday. I don't know what he does for a living. Do we know what he does for a living?
Yeah, he works in a machine shop. He does some high-end CNC style stuff.
Okay, race on Sunday, machine stuff on I don't know. Go on.
Tuesday, because you took off Monday. Duh. Okay. WRL was at Mid-Ohio for their sold-out event on Saturday. Top 3 all finished on the same lap, which is amazing. WTW brought home the win. Back just 9.4 seconds was Choice Racing, and then 20 seconds behind them was Hammer Motorsports. It was another nail biter on Sunday with the with another nail biter with the winning being Hammer Motorsports. Tons of gas, 1 lap back, and then on the same lap of them was third place WTW Racing. Also, W2W came in. All 3 of their cars came in 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So that's super fun.
That's awesome.
I don't know where the last one was because I couldn't find it.
I don't either. Sorry, we didn't have the team NATO on that one.
That's fine.
Listen our feedback.
Wow, that was scary.
Okay. Hey, Erling Lang let us know Spotify's finally allowing him to find our show. Fantastic.
Yay.
Nice.
So we're going back a little bit.
Oh, go on.
Not finish it, Jeff.
No, I was going to say, I was very concerned that it was only an international Spotify problem because I was seeing it in America. So good job, Erling.
All right. Going back a little, we asked you, the listeners, what your favorite and least favorite tool was.
And if the Harbor Freight Gold Ratchet had been out sooner, we would have had an easy.
Maybe
voting
so.
choice here.
Easily would have been everyone's favorite.
So Brian M. from We Like to Tuna here, Hack Factory said, hey, our favorite tool is a toss-up between the 2-post lift and the snap-on air hammer lovingly named Steely Dan. If Steely Dan can't get something removed, it probably shouldn't come off. Well
Is
done,
his
Brian.
team name now We Like the Tuna here Hack Factory? Or is he
No,
referring
that's
to a
just
location?
It's their hat.
It's a location. Yeah.
It's a location.
Like
Okay.
the
But it would be
CNC, like
awesome.
the CNC Mayhem Factory.
Just
Yeah.
checking because that would be actually a pretty good team title. Just saying.
Hack Factory.
Yeah. Al J said, my least favorite tool is the bolt extractor set. Doesn't matter what kind because none of them ever work. And even if they do, it means you've already effed up. There's nothing fun about removing broken bolts and studs. Favorite tool is the 1/2-inch extendable handle ratchet, including a link to the Harbor Freight website.
Ooh.
If it's the one that is, he said it's the 1/2-inch. I have
That's
the one
not the
that's
one that we have.
yeah, I have the 1/4-inch and the 3/8 one on that's double headed. I love that one.
Yeah, but it's not extendable.
It is.
It is.
It is.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Oh.
I was. I've been
that's when
using
you go
that
to the
one.
Like if it doesn't work the first time, you go to the I wasn't asking setting and you extend it.
I have an extendable snap-on that was in the back of one of my junk cars that I actually do really
Nice.
enjoy.
Excellent.
And it's exactly like Chris said. Okay, I was being polite. Now I'm done.
On YouTube, Tyler S said, honestly, the angle grinder might be my least favorite tool. It's
Hate
really
you
useful,
already.
right? Oh, for what it does, but it usually means I'm doing something annoying or I'm welding or I need to spend 2 hours grinding for every hour of welding. And it just feels like it's going nowhere. My favorite is between drill press, the Rockwell. Oh, I'm sure it sounds, it's actually, so the Rockwell Delta Homecraft from the late 40s, early 50s, and my tap collection. For some reason, I just enjoy tapping holes.
Tyler enjoys tapping it. News at 11.
Also
Actually-
on the tube. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I respect you, Tyler. I was only kidding.
Also on the tube, Michael K added that he is looking forward to meeting all of us at Pitt. We have already disappointed Mental at Gingerman, so looking forward to the same at Pitt. For reference, these are the guys with the 47 or 48, whatever, the Plymouth. They actually are a great, cool crew. So if you're at Pitt, be socially responsible, have your mask on, but go check out the car. They're a great bunch of folks, and that car is hilarious.
Hilarious. All right. So on the YouTubes from our last show, we had some disappointment about the recipes that were or were not provided. So Andrew Pullman said, if there isn't a recipe for the mythical mom cookies, I'll be upset. Oops, we didn't have that. He said later, I was disappointed. But then he gave a top tip. If you have an obscure car, become friends on the Facebook owners group with people remotely near the racetrack. We had an A-arm ball joint nut back out of the Love 7 hours into a 24-hour race and tear the right front apart. Quick shout out on the Facebook got us parts we didn't have. 500 miles and 9 hours later, we're back on track for checkered flag.
I'd like
Top
to
tip.
mention that he thinks a close part for a Chevy Love is like 250 and 4 hours away because they have 500. Never mind.
What's California?
There
They have
were no
some-
closer parts. Yeah,
Yeah,
close is a
that's
relative
it.
concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like this is very similar to the story that Eric Peterson told when he was on our show with the dead pedal Maserati.
But, yeah.
But
turbo.
like they found one at a farm. Yeah, the biturbo, which he invited all of us, but only I'm taking up on his invitation to race that in Oklahoma next month. So I am eagerly looking forward to that.
Yeah,
Enjoy.
can't get to Oklahoma next month. It's not because of your Italian car, because I would be there in a heartbeat if I could.
Yep. So apparently we have a hard time remembering who wins the E1R races. So hey, sorry to those who we skip and who we give credit to inappropriately. Like apparently Al Jones and Randy sound similar on the garbled Discord. So I got them mixed up. Al Jones won last time. Randy wasn't there. Randy's not that good to win when he's not there.
See, I can't tell the difference between Ron and Corey. I've called
Yeah.
Ron Corey. Anyway.
Ron's
Love
got
you
like
both.
a little bit, deeper of a voice, but you've got to be paying attention to it. And Randy was with us he was with us this past Monday, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. But you know what was even more awesomer? The
What's that?
final race in the Lemons iRacing season was amaze balls. The season ender at Mid Ohio, no pedal, no wheel, which was cool. But the newest favorite, most amazing kind of racing is the roller derby.
It is so
excellent.
great.
Oh
It's
my God.
so
It was
great.
so amazing. Even though we're back at Meat Space, the Lemon staff, and particularly Nate Levine and the Bearded Sim Racer, they've really created a separate but equally fun racing series. This race was amazing. I can't even explain it. It's roller derby. I don't have time because we're back to real racing, but the lead literally
Find it on the
changed
tube.
5 times in the last lap. It was so awesome to watch. We were so enjoying the racing. We actually talked about the racing. Chrissy, did you go to bed early? Did you see the end of it?
No.
No.
went to
You
bed.
have got to go. Everybody who can hear me right now, go watch this on YouTube. It was amazing. And we may have screwed Uncle Dave out of the win.
Well, there were
Uncle
like
David
6
Aaron.
commentators.
Yeah.
So we said we don't need us anymore.
Yeah. No, you have to go watch it, but we totally may have screwed Uncle Dave out of the win.
He'll be all right.
It's fantastic. It is. Yeah, that was great. You know who never screws Uncle Dave out of the win? Oh, never mind. I'm jumping. Sorry. We'll come
That's
back to
okay. We can say
We'll
hi
fit
to
that in
Chrissy's
there.
mom
Yeah, it's
anytime
fine.
we want to. Hi,
That
Chrissy's
was a
mom.
fine
true.
segue. So we went to VIR on Monday to run because we showed up at the Sunday night race and it was supposed to be Mid Ohio, right? And guess where we started? VIR. So we said, well, what the hell? But we like VIR, so
Yeah,
we went to
we do.
VIR
It was
because
fun.
VIR
There you
is
go.
great. So we stood at an all B class car to start for some closer racing. Anybody remember who won that one?
I was giga blasting. I literally threw my headset across the room. I got frustrated. I undid a bunch of, and I have no idea.
That's what
Yeah,
I
Chris
think
did a
I
couple
started
weeks ago.
15th and finished 15th.
Yeah, I was about with you, mental. Hey, second race though, we had the F3, the Riley Daytona, the Radical, GT3 cars, and apparently no one likes a Lambo anymore. They drove it once and said, "Nope, no good." And the Holden, and I believe Jay Becker won that in an F3. But the gap between the F3s and the Rileys, which you don't see those racing against each other very often, apparently
No.
about 3 seconds at the pointy end. So pretty close.
The Rileys are amazing.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was just also just another good fun race.
Yeah. Main topic time.
You made Jeff hold his breath for a little while.
I did.
I was trying to come up with another reason to see if he could. Yeah.
It's
Damn
okay. I'm good at it. So here it is. It is race time. We are so excited. We've reached our stretch goals. We are bringing two moderately unproven, two brand new cars to a race. We only have one registered. More about what happens to us next week. But we're going to do some predictions and we're going to talk about one of our favorite tracks on the East, and that is Pittsburgh International Raceway.
Complex.
Race
It's called- no,
complex.
it's called Complex.
Race
'Cause
complex
They've got a great go-kart track.
in Wampum, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Nowhere
We
near
also
Pittsburgh.
we really might need to consider a 3 p.m. track session on the kart track Friday night. before
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So it would appear that is going
Garage
to be on a
Heroes-
level that is equivalent to that of Donkey Kong.
Garage Heroes also, they can come in because they do a lot of karting. So if you're out there.
Great.
So
Okay.
what do we want to talk about? Should we talk about the track outside the track real quick? I'll just do this kind of, if you've never been there, this place has a great paddock. It is giant. It is ginormous. It is multiple levels. They're kind of spread out a little, so you don't feel like you're on top of each other. You don't ever have to park in the grass. And then they cut it in half. And they say,
Yeah.
this entire section, you can't park there. All right. So they typically have an autocross. They had a drift event. Was it 2 years ago or last year? I can't remember.
Something like that. Yeah. One of the
Something like
times
that.
we've been there.
So basically this giant black lake, it's beautiful. They could fit like 2 different Lemons events in the same thing. And literally we get kind of cramped in one side.
And there's a
apologize.
lower parking lot too.
And there's a lower parking
there's
lot,
like
and then
the-
a
if
lower
you-
parking lot, and then a
If
lower
you
parking
turn left, you
lot,
can
and-
go like on the turn 3, 4, 5 around
Yeah, we usually
there.
don't use that one much, but
Yeah. Well, I did at the track day, remember, because I showed up late and I had to be like
Yeah.
way the hell out there. So so it's not the easiest place to get into and get around because they cut it in half. There ends up being like dead end alleys. So like, don't take your hauler down until you know exactly where you're going. Read the map. Know where the power spots are. All the power spots are reserved. So if you have not reserved a power spot, you do not get to park in a power spot. That's kind of important. Nobody wants
I
to.
think there are only like 8 of them too.
Yeah,
So,
there's very few. So hopefully, if you didn't reserve a power spot, your generator is on point because you're going to be using it all weekend. There's decent bathrooms, I think. I don't know if that's in my section or in somebody else's section, but there's nice hot showers and decent bathrooms and hot water in the paddock there. And then there's there's all the rabble down here, and then up the hill there's like the proletariat gets to like look down at, the bourgeoisie gets to look down at all of us proles at the bottom. And I think there's like 8 garage spots up there.
hey, there's 8 at the top, and there's
8 at the top.
6. There's 6 in the bottom.
Yeah.
which is where we were 2 years ago, which is where BS and judging and HQ is all at the green roofed building with like what's white, kind of right in the middle of the paddock almost. It's not the brown one that's on the track. That's the classroom. That's the classroom and the timing and scoring and stuff like that. It's the garage that has 8 garages, but Lemons is taking a few of them. So, but there's also bathrooms in that building too.
Yes.
That's right in the middle.
And that's closer to the karting track and the track shop and the barbecue stand, which is fantastic. So you want to be down there anyway. That's where the fun is.
Yeah, and the brown garage is at the top of the hill. That's also, there's an event center above that, but there's also bathrooms in that building too.
Oh, I forgot there were bathrooms up there, but I did know that.
They're under the stairs. Or
Yes. Really important though is digital waivers. There are digital waivers for Lemons. You need to sign that before you get to the track.
Nope. Those are digital waivers for Pit Race.
Oh, I thought they were Lemons digital waivers.
Nope. Pit Races.
Pit Race digital
the
waivers.
email comes back as Beaver Racing or something.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
Because I had to sign one too.
There is digital waivers for pit to sign all the damn waivers. Go to look at the clock. Know that that Lemons will not let you in after 10 o'clock. Read the Nick Pond writes that gosh darn email. Read it. Know what the rules are. That's all we need to talk about. Let's get to the track.
Well, when you're getting there, you take that left turn off the main-ish road, just north of the turnpike, and drive into what seems like a residential neighborhood.
A sketchy residential neighborhood.
And then
someplace
you keep
I would
driving.
live.
Right. Then you drive through the woods a bit.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden there's a fence, and there's a spot through the fence, and then you keep driving around this fence for a while. Eventually you get to the guard shack where you stop. Yes,
There
Chrissy.
is a sign right before you turn into the residential road that says Pit Race this way. So there is, it does identify that you don't have, it will tell you to turn on.
Big.
It's a little bigger than that, but it does identify that there's something there.
It's on the opposite side of the road you're taking. So like if you're coming north from the turnpike, you're taking a left, but the sign is going to be on your right. Yeah. So go to the guard, but keep following the windy road until you get to the guard shack. There you will say your name because you signed a digital waiver already, right? And then you can sign that gets you your track into the track. Then you sign the Lemons waiver and get your wristband. And then you keep going. Anyway, mental.
But I didn't listen to your podcast until Thursday morning and I'm already on my way to the track. What do I do about this digital waiver?
Sign it.
My gosh, what a brilliant solution. You know what you should not do? Show up at the guard shack going, I don't know about no digital waiver. What am I supposed to do now?
He sounded like Rocky from Rocky and Bullwinkle.
He did,
Or Bullwinkle from Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Facts, because that's how you're going to sound when there's 4 RVs behind you and they all did it right. And you're like, eh.
Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. Go on. I'm sorry.
So Mental, tell us what are some other things that we should be doing from an official staffer?
Sure. This is great advice for the rest of your existence. There are rules that Pit Race has. There are rules that Lemons has. There's some overlap and then there is some diverture. Both of these rules exist for reasons you may not understand, agree with, or care about the reasons. Don't care. Don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick. All right. If you screw something up, apologize, go fix that thing. Don't sit there and argue. There are 10 other race teams waiting in line behind you, trying to get through that did their stuff right, or that they've got to come up and argue. Just do your thing. Get out of the way. Testing day. Lemons is not running the testing day. So that will be handled by Pit Race. You will pay them the money. They will give you their armband. If they have a required tech inspection, they will perform said tech inspection. Chris.
That is pre-reg only. There is no walk-ups for this. It is also a rather crappy testing day in that we share it with non-Lemons people and there are specific sessions. And so you get less time, less flexibility for no discount.
Fact.
There you go. But you have to pre-reg.
You know who doesn't want to hear about it? How crappy that testing day is? Anyone wearing an orange shirt that says Lemon staff. Sorry. As he said, tomorrow, as you're listening to this, it's Thursday. Sign up ahead of time. If you're interested in doing that testing day, do not come and complain about it. All right. The testing day will get you onto the track at any time. So if you have pre-signed up for that testing day, you can get a Lemons wristband. If you show up at said guard shack after 10 o'clock and you are not doing the testing day, you will put your RV, your truck, your car, your vehicle in park, and there you shall sit on that winding road through the residential area until 6 a.m. the next day.
Out of
This is
everyone
not-
else's way, please.
Out of everyone else. Yeah, pull off to the side. This is not my problem. You didn't get there before 10. Do not argue with the gate shack. Do not send Nick an email. Do not go on the Facebook page and complain. You knew it was coming. They sent out the emails. All right. And genuinely, 95% of the people, they're totally cool with that. Showed up at NOLA. There was like 4 RVs. They're like, oh, that was great. We knew we weren't going to make it here till after 10. All right. So that's the testing day. Now, if I'm on the test day list, how can I get a wristband? Because Friday, the waiver, the liability inside the paddock for the testing day is assumed by Pitt Race. If you were just there for lemons and you have not signed a lemons waiver, we can't let you in the paddock because you fall under our insurance, and we're not playing that game. I'm beating this dead horse. Let's talk about bribes. So it's me, Kurt and Craigers. Mostly Kurt and Craigers is going to be doing the judging. I'll be doing some ancillary stuff. Everyone knows I like tequila. Good case of claws is never the wrong way to go. And I got a text just this today from Florida man Donnie because White Claw has iced tea.
Ooh, I would drink
Yes.
that. Bring
Yes.
me a 5-pack.
So Donnie will be coming down with Amanda, and he's bringing some White Claw iced tea. So anything that's shareable, that's delightful. Things we don't like, prepackaged store-bought cookies. Kurt and Craigers love themselves some good scotch. So that's what they're going to want. And then we got one, it was a guy that used to do musical events and shows, and he has all this free guitar stuff like picks and all kinds of collectible stuff, things like that is going to be distributed and help people create art. These are wonderful bribes. Absolutely. Things that encourage a community are fantastic bribes. We beat the show. You got to be there before 10 or after 6 a.m. the next day. And then finally, folks, I get it. We're all getting our shots. We're all recovering out of this. I don't know what Pennsylvania's rules are with masks. I know what the governor here, but you're going to be in the lemons paddock. If you wander outside of your group of people, just put on your mask. It's been wonderful all season. I got zero pushback at NOLA. I got zero pushback at Sonoma. Find somebody that would walk out of their paddock and be like, hey, bro, you need a mask. They would all go, oh, sorry. And they would go back and get it. This would be a wonderful trend if we could continue that. If you've got
We've
a
all been doing this
conspiracy
for a year now,
Yeah.
like this is not new.
if you've got a conspiracy theory about how it's all a plant from Bill Gates and all those guys, let me get about 6 claws into after the track goes cold and then come and share that with me. But in the meantime, just wear your mask.
Okay. All right, good. I'm going to talk about facilities. Jeff talked a little bit about it already, but I will talk a little bit more about it. Where are the bathrooms? So the bathrooms, we kind of talked a little bit about them, but we'll go over it. The first one that is closest to the gate is over near the karting track. So when you look at a map, go to the karting track, it is in a row of garages. It's at the very end. It is a very nice bathroom. It's not very big, but it is usually not well used or not very popular. So if you are a gentleman looking for a shower at a popular shower time, I would take a cart or a truck or a scooty over to that one, because that's going to where you're going to find less lines.
That's a good tip.
CPM top tip. We use that place all the time. Like NASA weekends are always down there because no one's ever there.
Park on the side. It's not too far from everything, but worth a trip over to there. It's really far. If you are down the strip near the track, it's really far. It's on the opposite end of the places where you're usually going to go. Go ahead, Mental.
That's the best time to grab a shower in those facilities. Green flag.
Sure. Yeah. Or midday or not 5 p.m. So
3 a.m.
usually 3 a.m. is also probably a fine time. Everybody probably won't be very sober then, but that's okay. There is also a set of restrooms, as we said, in the top set of garages. There is one set that I know that's usually open right at the edges of the stairs, one on each side. There probably are more in the event center, but they're probably locked off, or it's going to be frowned upon if you go up there. But I'm pretty sure there are some in the back towards the classrooms. There's also, as we said, there's one set in the middle, right in the general population of everything. So they're going to be probably pretty well used, but they're pretty big. They're pretty big as well, and they also do have showers in them. So if that's the closest one to you, you're welcome to use them. I think that's it. They may have porta potties. especially down the row of down the row that is parallel to the track out or track in. So that's where all of the bathrooms are. As we said, really good facility, very nice place. Everything's pretty well kept up. I think they usually keep pretty good on the what do you call it? The trash. Like I think most times they're usually emptying the trash. Not the best, but not the worst. And usually there's AC in the classroom, and everything. The place is very nice. All the buildings are very nice. Track food. I think it's questionable. You mentioned that there was barbecue. I don't know that barbecue cart is always there. So I don't know what kind of track food is actually on site. I
think it's always there. It's not always open.
Fine. So
they've been there every time we've been there. So.
Okay. Well, it's been a long time since we've been there multiple times with other groups. So I wasn't sure if it just lives there and is open all the time. So there may be a very good barbecue place that's a barbecue cart, and they have wonderful nachos and loaded fries and sandwiches, but they may not be open.
Make it done, Bill.
Right. And that's it. So if you are relying on track food, I would not rely on track food. Bring your own track food. I know parties are not, they're frowned upon at this point, but usually there are people that make a lot of food. So there might be some food that you can probably find from your friends, but I would just assume that you should bring your own track food. So let's talk about stuff around the track. As we mentioned, you're going to come in this road that has a couple kind of dilapidated hotels, some kind of basically
there's some sketchiness going on in those.
It's really not.
She's being generous with the word.
I am. I'm trying to be nice. So this is, it's kind of typical outskirts of a large city, specifically a coal town that is Pittsburgh. There is Steeltown, excuse me. So there is one gas station that is a fine place to go. There is ice there. It's fairly small.
I kind of like the place.
But it's very welcoming. You can play Keno, so in case you want to do that.
Lots of ice. They'll always sell you ice.
Right. But they have gas and they have ice. So it's a fine place to go. I would not assume there are maybe one or two restaurants, but I would not assume that any of those places are ones that you want to go. So that's what's good.
You got to get further away than that.
Yeah, right.
Like,
that's what
there's a town called Elwood that's east. And then there's a town called Beaver Falls that is south. And here's a top tip I got from someone at work is if you're in Beaver Falls, there's a place called Odar's Donut Shop.
Ooh.
That is on the main road in Beaver Falls. And they say it's a local institution. And when I looked it up on Google Maps, it had 4.9 star review of almost 1,000 reviews. It still averaged out to 4.9 stars. So
do we know the distance from the track?
12 minutes.
Oh.
We need to figure out where everybody is staying.
Donuts.
Staying outside
Donuts.
of
Make it happen.
For those that are staying outside of the track at hotels, we should find out how far it is from people, because we stayed outside wherever we stayed for that one track day in a hotel that was pretty nice and pretty far out and had plenty of stuff around.
And if you're going, if you're like Donnie and going to the Sheets, that is just south of the turnpike, on your way to Beaver Falls to get gas and various other sundries that you like from Sheets.
Schmuffins.
Yep. The Odar's, the donut shop
Schmeggles.
is not too much farther than if you're already at Sheets. So
now, can we trust Donnie with the task of getting us donuts?
I think Donnie would be better than average at selecting the proper donuts.
I think so too, but I think it'd show up and there'd be like 11.
Well, you get it right.
10.
This is why my favorite denomination of beer to receive as a gift is a 5-pack.
I understand.
It's inherently social. It's brilliant in its execution. I wanted to ask. I got distracted. We had a slight dog situation. Doesn't that little cozy gas station across from the track also have like biscuits or something?
Yes, they have some kind of prepared food.
Yeah,
counter,
like quasi locally, like somebody makes it and drops it off to like 4 or 5 different gas stations. I remember it not being awful.
Okay, I did not know that.
Never tried.
Because every time I go in, I get either nothing and go to the bathroom or ice. So that's why I've been in there. It is not the worst. And if they have a lovely breakfast, then that's great too. But anyway, the long and short of it is don't assume that you're going to leave the track and just go get something quick. There is a pizza place, but I have no idea. It's kind of a podunk pizza place. So
And they have like bankers hours because it's open like 7 hours a week. Every time we drove by, it's always closed.
It doesn't matter. There's no good pizza west of the Susquehanna River.
And there's like no Hardee's, no McDonald's, none of that stuff. It's
No.
all like
No.
40 minutes away.
Yeah. There is a Dollar General there too. But anyway, not good. This is what I'm telling you. It's like, don't assume that you're going to leave the track and just be like, yeah, I'm just going to go get something because there's nothing out there. Anyway, let's keep moving. Fuel in the hot pits. You need to bring a cart because wherever you're coming from is chances are you're going to be coming
Far
from
away.
pretty far away. So it's not something like, let me just lug these jugs over there. It is, get a cart, get something, or borrow one from a friend because you're going to need it. And the track pumps are far away. So if you are planning on trying to win, you will not be able to go to the track pumps. They are near karting. So they are behind the bathrooms, behind the RVs, over near karting. It's far away.
Yeah.
And then there's this gas station that I was talking about.
It's pretty
So,
close to the rope of death. Do not cross this rope.
the
Or
rope
you will
of
be
death.
near the auto crossing, whatever.
Or whatever is going on there. Okay, so hopefully we've covered everything that's going on in the facilities. I think it's a pretty good wrap up.
Yeah.
Now it's time for our track
track.
walk.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'll get us started here. You guys, please interject if you have any interesting words of wisdom or stories of things you've done poorly here, so everyone can learn from our mistakes, because that's how we roll. So the main straight is right along where the paddock where we used to. It's about a 1/4 mile long, and turn 1 is a left-hand turn. It's kind of a medium radius turn here, but it's also incredibly deceiving because there's a little bump at the end of the straight. Like you go down and then back up. And when you're kind of cresting the hill is right where you really should be hard on the brakes for one, if you need to brake. Some cars that are very slow, like the Simca, not need to brake here, but most cars need to brake a little bit here. But when you come up over this hill at like the 1 marker on the braking thing and you think, oh man, I'm not going to make it. But a lot of it's a kind of a trick of the angles of the track and of the hill. You can carry a lot more speed through 1 than you think, because there's all the room in the world to track out to the right.
For those of you watching in, there we go. For those of you watching on the YouTube, we're going to pull up a track map.
Oh,
I've got a better one,
there
Jeff.
we go.
Oh,
Let
okay.
me pull up a better one.
Oh, a better one.
Give it.
You can share.
Chrissy, while they're working out who's sharing what, will you be bringing your track map that you drew?
I can. It's right next to my desk. It's on the other side of the wall
Excellent.
that Chris can see.
Great, Chris. You have permission to share.
We are going
Great.
We are going to try, but we have not had much luck with, just for various safety reasons, being able to do an old school track walk at Pitt Race. Should we not be able to do that, I think Chris and Chrissy and Jeff have all got like 3 HPDEs there. You guys have raced there a bunch of times. And if you have questions about a corner, usually you guys, if you're not elbows deep in, I don't know, like a recently
Broken
built
Z. I don't
V8
know.
swapped Z, broken Z, you guys were, and I actually remember when Chrissy gave us a virtual track walk using her map 3 years ago, that helped me immensely.
Cool.
So
Okay, Chris.
turn 1, there's a huge amount of track out on turn 1. So as long as you can make it to your apex of 1, on the gas, because you've got all the room in the world to wash out a little bit there. And even if you screw it up, there's actually kind of a little escape road thing there too. So once a turn, you can push it in way more than you think you can.
Yep.
So,
I learned that in the 1.6 Miata, I don't even need to brake in 1.
maybe a little lift. That's about
A
it.
little lift just to transfer the weight where it needs to be. And let me tell you, I did not think it was as wide as it was. I did not think it was as you could take it as fast as you could.
Yep. So there's a little straight there that starts to go uphill toward 2. Be mindful of the blend line on your left here between 1 and 2. Don't cross the blend line. There's who knows what kind of janky ass Mopar is going to be coming out of that paddock 100 times.
Broken
So-
Z.
Watch out for the blend line because it is tempting to cut it because you're going to be apexing right around the end of the blend line is usually the apex, because then you're setting yourself up to go over the hill that is turn 2. So but if you apex the end of the blend line, you'll pop out over the hill of turn 2 in exactly the right spot, because then there is a 1,500 foot straight after that hill that's downhill. So you'll be moving by the time you get to the bottom of that straight, where you enter a pretty tight complex where you've got a left and right hand corner. So I usually try to break around the 3 marker. That usually gives me plenty of room to break it down. Depends on the car. But you'll need to get turned for a late apex in 3 and no track out. You do not track out at 3. You stay on the left-hand side. There's also a nice flag station right here to watch, because once you turn over 4, you're going down a hill and you cannot really see what's around corner 4 at all. So keep an eye on that flag station at 3. Mental.
And this is a brilliant map. If you are interested, check this out on the YouTube, because it's got the elevations. But just before you enter into turn 3 is the peak of that hill. There's about a 20-foot rise as you're coming up it. So you get full suspension compression right up until the time you go to turn in, and then you no longer have suspension. So that one always felt a little more sketchy than I thought it would going into it. Am I on the right track on that
5, you're losing 80 feet between 3 and 5. So after you come out of 3,
probably one of the best elevation change tracks that we run, at least in Lemons.
There's over 100 feet total between high and low spots on the track, and it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. All right, so out of 3, you do not track out. Your track out is your apex on the left-hand side, so that you can set yourself up for 4 and the little straight that comes after 4. So 4, you take like a normal corner, except it is off camber and partially blind. So be careful, because it is really easy to wash out hard to the left in 4 if you're not paying attention. So mind the off camber. And then you've got a nice little straight coming out of 4. You don't really, you track out, but then, you're coming down the hill and the road bends a little to the left. You don't want to go to the right too far, but you don't want to stay all the way to left. I usually come out kind of in the middle, because as you're coming into turn 5, you want to have the best angle to make it through 5. So if you're coming in the middle into 5, that lets you go all the way to the left by your turn-in point. And this is not at the bottom of the hill, but you'll kind of see the spot. You can kind of tell where the turn-in point is by reading the rubber on the pavement. And as you're turning into 5, you're just about at the bottom of the hill. You need to look up the hill to your right. And when I say up the hill, I really mean
important.
Up the hill, like all the way up the hill. It is
and don't look at the apex.
Steep hill.
Just look up.
Yeah. In the matter of, let's see, that's 3, 6. I'm going to say 1,000 feet. You're going to climb 85 feet in elevation in 1,000 feet. So it's, and if your Miata isn't making it in 3rd, you're going to have to drop to 2nd. Like
I learned, and this is another thing that I learned in the Miata at the NASA Great Lakes weekend, that I was over braking this because I was trying to get into 2nd, and he basically told me that slowing down on the down is one of the worst things to do, because you need to hit the up and let that slow you down. So this is Miata advice only, by the way. I have no idea what you're driving and what it's going to do, but yeah, I was over braking this for a very long time.
And it's Go, Chris.
Go ahead. You can turn really hard at the bottom of 5.
Yes.
Because you're at the bottom of your elevation change. So the car's bottoming out, but you've got to get it done there. And as soon as you're kind of starting through the corner, you're climbing again. So you're still getting some compression, but not nearly as much.
Yeah.
So take advantage of it while you can at the bottom, but look up the hill. And this whole thing also off camber. So you can easily wash out into 6, which kind of really connects to 5. It's all kind of one thing. And there's a lot of room on the inside there that you're not going to use, but
nobody's ever on the inside.
No.
Which, if you need to pull a pass and you're looking for a place to get by somebody,
The high power cars are going to do a lot of passing on the inside out of 6 into 7.
Hell yes.
That's exactly where I was going to go. Cause so many times, especially newer teams, or you get Red Misty, they're trying to make a pass between 4 and 5 because you've got all the power and you're going downhill. Relax, breathe, because they're all going to be doing their level best to keep their momentum as they're going through these corners. And if you just cut to the inside and mat it, you're going to motor past everyone. That was the Triumph was actually really good at that.
Yeah.
We'll pass you in the Z there, but not the Mazda. All right.
Exactly.
So there's a good flag station that's important to pay attention to after 6 on the straightaway right about before the crest of the hill. Because if you get over the crest of the hill and there's a problem at 7, you have no idea what's going on. It is completely blind.
There will be people screwing up 7.
Oh, yeah.
So bad.
Yeah. All right. So you're coming up over the crest of the hill. This is another 1,200 foot straightaway. This is a long straight. I mean, half of it's like straight uphill, but a lot of it's fairly far downhill. So coming into 7, this is the start of the S's. You've got a right, left, right, like a long section there goes there. And if you get a rhythm set up in these, you can do really, really well. If you get behind, you're kind of screwed for the whole section until you get through 11.
Mm-hmm.
So get your rhythm right. And these corners aren't especially difficult. I usually, what I like to do on these is essentially just kind of carry your speed. Chrissy even came up with a little song about going through this.
Modulating the gas.
And that's what you're doing. You're modulating the gas through this whole thing. You can brake a lot later coming into 7 than you think, but take it and this is a corner I probably take with a little later apex than a normal 90-degree corner that I can set up for 8, 9, 10. 8's a left. It's a downhill that ends like the bottom of the hill is kind of the track out of 8, but you've got enough room to track all the way to the right and then quickly cut back to the left for 9. But then 9, don't track all the way out for 9 because you don't have enough room to get in the right spot for 10. So you late apex 9 to the right. This is also as you're coming to crest the hill, right as you're starting into 10. And if you are early apexing 10, you are going to go wide over that hill. On that hill, it's going to get light, and you're going to push wide, and you're going to go off in the grass to the right.
You're going to be in the marbles.
Right. There's marbles. There's holes on that side of, or at least there was, but on either side of that, the berm.
A lot of people spin here because they get light, they lift, then the front bites, then it does a tank slapper, and then they hit the inside wall after 10. Seen that a number of times.
This is another place where you really need to link the turns and do them together. You can't just inside, outside, inside each turn and think you're going to do okay here. You really need to know what's happening on the other side.
7, 8 you take as 1.
Yep.
9 to 10 you take as 1.
Yep.
Essentially, they get late apex on 9 so that you're in the right spot to take 10 because you're cresting the hill at an off camber turn as you're going left. Like it's all kinds of things has less traction than you think. There's right around the end of the curbing is about the spot I like to apex. Just about at the end of it is about right to set you up for 11. And when you're coming into 11, you're going down the hill out of 10, full throttle. There's a point where the old north track used to make a connection here from turn 1 to there. And at that point, there's a striped curb that is like an arrow almost. And if you hit the head of that, that's your best spot of an apex at 11. So as you're cresting the hill at 10, watch for that pointy yellow, or not yellow, it's red and white.
Red and white, yeah.
At 11, that's your visual spot to look at.
I don't think I had ever been given this piece of advice. I'm going to have to go back and watch the videos.
Give it a try. You don't have time to watch the videos between now and then. What are you kidding? Maybe at work tomorrow.
Well, I mean, he'll do it while he's driving. It'll be fine.
While Jim is driving, I'll be doing the video.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, so watch that little piece of curb. And then you've got another 400 foot straight between 11 and 12. But at this point, though, you need to be looking around you for who's going to be passing you on the right-hand side coming in here, because this is going to be a good spot to pass for all the people that screwed up 10, 11. Now you're going to get around them. There's also an important flag station just next to 12 that you need to see. So watch that flag station.
And
Okay.
it's deep there behind a
It
tire
is.
wall.
But
I
if
went-
you just
I went
have
You
look
should be
before
looking
once.
that way anyway. You should
Yeah.
be. Your eyes are that way
if
until
your
you're
eyes
looking
are
up
up
the hill.
out of 11, you look right at it. But so if you're
Mhm.
not seeing that one at 12, that means your eyes are in the wrong place. Okay. 12, 13, 14 are all kind of a complex together. 12 is a right, 13 is a kink left, 14 is a right. So 12, you're gonna not track out at all. Your apex is your track out on 12 because you're setting yourself up for 13 to set yourself up for 14. Because if you get a good run out of 14, it's going to carry you all the way down almost 2,000 feet of straightaway, a little more than really. So important you get this one right. So
Yeah,
no
I
apex out of
think-
12.
I was going to say, I think 12 might be my worst turn on this.
Okay.
I think I
Slow
have
down
the
more.
most trouble with this.
Slow down more than you need to at 12 so that you can get on the gas earlier through the 13,
Yeah.
14
Yeah,
complex.
I think I try and hit 12 too hard, and I find myself washed out frequently and
Yep.
in the wrong spot for 13.
You push out wide on 12. Now you're pushing out wide on 13. Now
Mhm.
you're getting in the gas until you're halfway into 14 and you're losing
And it
out on a lot
screws
of
up
speed.
everything else. Yep.
So don't track out on 12, but do and actually and then don't track out on 13 either. Like your whole point of 12 and 13 is to end up in the right place for 14. That's it. They're only a vehicle for 14. And 14 you want to take like you would any other corner, outside, inside, outside, but know that you are cresting a blind hill and an off-camber corner. Mind the track station right around 13. There's two of them right around 13 so that you can see, because otherwise you have no idea. So if you get on the gas just before you crest the hill, once you've done it a few times, you got to get used to it. You can get on the gas before you crest the hill at 14, use all the curbing on the right-hand side of 14. There's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then track all the way out after 14, and you're coming down a hill, and you're going to be carrying a tremendous amount of speed at that point.
Yes. Even the Miata feels fast here.
Yeah. This is also where you're going to catch the people that did those turns wrong. So be careful. That's why you're watching your flag stations over that hill. 15 is a kink to the left. You should be able to carry this flat, no lifting, unless there's a traffic jam there, but there shouldn't be. So that, again, normal corner, outside, inside, outside. And then you're on a 1,200 foot straightaway before another kink, turn 16. This can get intimidating as you're coming down here. There's going to be a lot of passing here for who took 14 correctly and who didn't. Everyone's going to be making their passes here. And then it's a bit of a bravery test going through 16, and a traction test. If your car can stick it and your brakes are good, you can carry your power all the way through 16 and then immediately get your car pointed straight, lift, and brake hard.
By then you might be going,
It's a butthole puckerer.
It is. It can
it's
be.
a long time to think about how fast you possibly could be going.
yeah.
If you've
Yeah.
done 12, 13, 14 well, and there's nobody around, or you've passed people and you're in the right spot, you've got anywhere between 15 and 16. You've got a long time. And then you have this kink coming up and you're like, hold it, keep it.
Tatas are probably going to be going 120 here, for example.
Mental has his hand up. I don't know if you can see it.
That's why I just called him. Said
I'm
Mental.
sorry. I overtalked you. I'm sorry.
Regardless of what you do, if you decide to brake before that kink, or you decide to flat foot it through that kink, stick with that plan. Halfway through that kink, do not change your plan.
That's a
True.
great
Because-
piece of advice.
Because
Hell yes.
or if you're trying to overtake a car and you feel like they're going to change their plan halfway through that kink, do not be on the outside of that, because that is where a lot of cars, when they are indecisive or they change their plan, decide to swap ends.
Yeah. And then once you're in the grass on the outside of that, you're gone. You're physics
You're going to
is-
hit the wall.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You're at the mercy of physics, and there are walls, and you will hit them, and they're bad.
But there's
And
runoff, so we should be
there's-
clear
yeah.
about
But
there's
at
runoff
the s-
everywhere, but
At the speeds you can go in this
Yes,
corner,
correct.
though, you're going to use all of the runoff if you go off there. So do what you can. Be safe there until you build your confidence up.
It is
then-
not a place to make a hero pass on a car that you think is a little sketchy. This is not where you pass them.
Mm-mm. Because right
we
after
watched, there's a perfect place right afterwards, but we watched a lot of cars get collected up there when last time I was there with you guys.
But no, afterwards, you only have about 500 feet to go from a fourth, fifth, sixth gear kind of place to a second or third gear corner, which is what you're about to take.
And I was going to say, this is where endurance racing is important to remember that no single pass is going to win that race, but staying on the track is.
Yeah.
So
there are a number of places on this track where you need to have a discriminating eye of, is this the right place to try to pass? Is this the right place to try to push? It's a long race. Be careful. There are a number of places here that can cause problems if you're not prepared or you're deciding you're going to set the world on fire.
I think this is one of the more deceptive tracks. I think visually you think something is different, and then when you get there, you realize, oh, should have been there. I could have been there. So I think this really takes, I think it takes more laps to learn this track because you need to know what's on the other side that you visually can't see more than any other track that we run.
And they play tricks on you with the camber of the track and versus where you are about how much room there is.
Yeah.
And it tricks your eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so many of these corners are great. And I keep thinking back to, we've done, as Mental said, we did a lot of track days here, and a lot of them are how do you make this a perfect corner? So I have to get out of the mind frame of, it's not about perfect corners. So I occasionally on two of these corners don't use the whole track. I should be using more of the track as where we're coming up to in 17, 18. I tend to suck it close and not use the whole track. Whereas there are the correct best line is out further, but it's all different in racing. So
yeah.
Yep. All right. So 17 is a hard right-hand turn up a hill after you just braked really hard. This is a second or third gear corner for most people. So there's nothing exciting about it. It's outside, inside, and then outside. But 17 links to 18, which links to 19. So you need to do the best you can at carrying speed at 17, and you can track pretty far out after 17. Really, there's a lot more room over there, but be mindful of that's where people who are going to be going to the pits are going to be out on the left side too. So track as much as you feel you need to be able to stay on track after, if you overdrove it through 17, maybe you overcooked it coming into 17 because you didn't, as you said, I'm going to try not lifting at 16. Yeah. That's going to happen. All right.
Oh my God, I'm going so fast. I'm going so fast.
Right? That might happen.
Totally. So 18, you're never going to track out in 18. It's just coming out of 17, heading toward 19. You happen to go through 18 is the best way I can describe it.
That's a good way to say it. Yeah. I don't even think it's like a turn. I'm like,
yeah.
The track
there's a flag station
so wide there too.
Yeah, there's a flag station on the inside of 18. That's a good one to look at because as you're coming through 19, it's a crest of a hill and a corner, and there's guardrails and stuff. You can't see what's over on the straightaway there. So, but coming out of 18 down to turn 1, you've got 2,000 feet of essentially straightaway. So you build up some speed there. Then 19 is just like a kink on your way. That's what take it however traffic allows. That's really what it comes down to. And then you're on the straight,
because that's a lot of people are jockeying for how they're going to go down the straight. The slow cars are trying to get out of the way. The fast cars are, I got to get around it right now.
Yeah, I mean, slow cars keep your line. Fast cars go left.
Yeah,
it's just in general, do that. That's what timing. The flag station is kind of right in the middle of this here. I always think I said track off is coming out of 18. You're just hang left, and that brings you into the paddock. And then again, going down the straight, you're going to carry a lot of speed. Usually you're probably going to be braking around the 3. If you have a faster car, maybe you can get to the 2. If you have a really slow car, you maybe brush it at the 1. And if you're riding the Simca, just stay on the gas. You'll be fine. Mental.
So we know that literally right in the middle, they've got the traditional basket hanging over the track. That's one black flag station. Where's the other black flag station?
I don't know.
Traditionally at
I
Pitt
think
Race.
there's
12.
12.
Yeah,
I
12.
think they've done it at 12 a lot because that gives you time.
It's actually
to
a
figure
little
out what's
past
going
12,
on.
right? It's right after
I think
12.
It's between it's essentially at 12.
Yeah.
It's over here on the YouTube, but basically think of it at 12.
I
is
thought
where
there
usually
also
they happen.
was one before the turn at 7 that had a black flag. Am I wrong?
Before between 6 and 7.
Between 6 and 7.
Maybe that's like the one at Watkins Glen, but you
I could be wrong. I know that is a flag station where I get a lot of information. I'm not
Because you're going over a blind hill at full throttle, so you better get a lot of information.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I seem to remember 5 one year being a black flag station too, as you're coming down the bottom of that hill.
Bottom of the hill.
No, I don't.
And I think it didn't work out well because it required you to pull your eye off the line.
Because you're looking the wrong way if you're looking at because the flag station number 5 is over here. It's
never mind. I'm smoking crack. Yeah. All right. So it is. It's the main and 12.
I mean, we should check, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be 6.5 or 12. Realistic.
Do yourself a favor. Know that before you go out on the track. Know where the track exit is. Know where the track entrance is. Know how to get from your paddock to the pit road entrance. And know where penalty is, even if you're not going to go there.
Yes.
And lemons might change up where you go on and off track. Usually with HPD stuff, you go toward or go between the bougie garages at the top of the hill and the brown timing and scoring building. You kind of go to there's a sub parking lot there that's a grid. Usually you go through the grid and that gets you on to timing, but I don't know what they're going to do for lemons this weekend.
And we've seen new teams like freak out about this and drive around the paddock for 5 minutes trying to find out how to get on. Then they get mad and then they're speeding in the paddock and then it's a whole different.
Yeah. I think last time lemons had us come off the track all the way at the end of pit lane. Like you have to go all the way past everything at the end of pit lane and then come all the way back up that long leg of stuff to get there. From what I recall, but who knows what they'll do this time. All right.
That is typical because that way you don't have to go all the way around the track if you want to refuel.
Oh, here's one other quick thing. If it rains at all, avoid. Basically, you're driving to find the traction, but avoid the new pavement in the S's. It is ice.
And sometimes in 4, it gets slippery in 4. There's some new and old pavement in anywhere coming from between 4 and 5.
Watch the patches if it rains.
Yes. 17 is where a lot of differentials and transmissions blow up. They usually have a lot of fluid there. And there's a river that likes to run across 11.
And in turn 4.
And 5 is a river because you're at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, 5 is bad.
Yes.
In turn 4, between 3 and 4, don't touch your crotch area or you'll spin the Cressida.
That was New Jersey.
That was different track.
It's New Jersey.
No, he did it here, I thought.
No,
he spun it here too.
That was the left-handed New Jersey.
Sorry. But he also put the Cressida off there. I remember that.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing.
Anyway, thank you.
That was enough. Sure.
That was great. Overall feelings about Pittsburgh and the race coming up this weekend. Anybody got any dark horses? No. The race. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Anybody have any thoughts about the race? I mean, we all expect it to be awesome. We're not really talking about us because we're going to do that next week. But go ahead, Mental's got something.
I think one of the yes, it's very 3-pedal mafia centric. I think you should be watching the Cressida. I think the Cressida is going to do something impressive. They have stayed on their game during the Rona. They have stayed on top of that car, and they're always a good team right out of the gate.
I'm interested to see how the clash of Northeast versus Midwest goes. We've got Save the Tatas, but we've got Momrath. You know, for example, there's a lot of top 10 New England teams and top 10 Midwest teams here in the same place. Let's see what happens. Those two I use are just the first examples I could think of multiple winners, both there.
Yeah, East Coasters, if you've never seen Save the Tatas, be prepared to have your bunghole blown out in the Tesla speak.
Well, not just them though, but also the Sky Camino's coming. Those guys are all usually very competitive. There's the lemonade stand is going to be there. There's
the street.
There's also a lot of Midwest teams that somehow think that Eric Rude is literally not in every Lemons group on Facebook, and we're talking trash about how they're going to get away with murder.
Yeah.
Really? Just because Eric's not going to be there? Like Kurt and Craigers aren't getting an email? What are you kidding?
Sure. I'm sure there are plenty of fast cars, but this is a track that powerful straight line cars will be intimidating. And that Tata's car is a bomber.
You have not seen the Sky Camino.
I have not.
You have
so
not
I
seen
don't
the Sky
know.
Camino.
Yeah.
No, I've seen the Sky Camino versus the Tatas in a straight line. You
Interesting.
would be surprised.
Very exciting.
You'd be surprised what they can do with the GMV6. That thing will pull.
All right.
And lots of blow uppy V8 swap stuff too that'll be out there, but it'll be when it's
talking
running,
about us.
it'll be fast.
Yeah.
Not just no. I'll talk about fast cars.
Oh, okay. That's not gonna be us.
Thanks.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna be broken.
Yeah,
Pull the
we're
Mazda
gonna
out.
take it easy. Don't expect us to do much. We're gonna be short
We're not
shifting
bluffing.
and like not only short shifting
I
the motor,
absolutely know. You're not sandbagging. I get it. I totally
but we're
get
gonna do like an hour and then come in and be like, let's check every nut and bolt because we don't know what the thing is gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if the Z blows up, the
Shakedown.
Mazda goes out. Please don't hit the Mazda. Chrissy will be very upset.
She'll cry.
How many bosses?
Yeah, you deal with the crying Chrissy. I don't want to.
It's not my
Think
job.
about it.
You
How
never get
many-
another Chrissy's mom's cookie if you hit the Mazda.
There you
Facts.
go. No.
Well, so there's plenty of people that don't get them in the first place. How many people's bosses have already asked them if they're going to win this race?
None.
No, I'm putting my hand
One of
up.
my
My-
employees did.
I'm
my-
like, come on. You
My
gotta know-
office is actually I have a small office now, and they're all completely schooled up on the stupidity.
Oh,
Like
so
when I rolled in with a second Porsche 914, they're like, "Oh, mental's here."
Mental's
Sure.
nuts.
My boss knows that, but he tries to say that I should be high. My expectations should be higher. We should be shooting for the stars more. And I was like, you have no idea what bring one
This
and a
is not
half
the race you're
cars.
shooting for the stars.
No, it's not.
I would like each of us to raise our right hand. Right hand.
I'm not
Right
sure.
hand.
Not try
You don't have to.
BMW.
Yeah, no, not that one. That's a good one though.
Why
We
is
will
Chrissy's
not.
in my hands opposite.
It's fine. We will
Okay.
because you're right. It's because you're seeing yourself in backwards.
Okay.
We will not get drunk and put penises in anyone else's car at Pittsburgh. I
Agreed.
solemnly swear.
Oh, fine. God. But 3-pedal mafia cars are fair game.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm. Well, okay. They were hangers on, but whatever. It's old.
It's
That
old
was 2
news.
years ago.
2 years ago.
Actually, yes, I will be.
Let's
I
go.
will be relatively dong free this weekend.
No, you won't.
Unless I
I'm-
throw it at
No,
you.
I will be.
Relatively.
I will be a
Relatively.
dong target. I'm
Yeah.
absolutely certain.
Only after the track goes. What are we doing? Are we doing adjust the tip? Do we have a hella sweet? I think it's adjust the tip, isn't it?
I got to adjust the tip.
Just the tip.
Now, this, I should thank Eric for this just the tip. When you're wiring something, double check what's a ground before you wire it in. And if you're really not, use a multimeter. Touch the block, touch that thing.
Don't
Does it
just
ohm
say
out?
like, I think this is okay. I'm pretty
This
sure
looks
it
like a
is.
good
Is it
ground.
okay? Yeah, that's
Zap,
okay.
zap. Accidental welding going on under the car.
What did he weld? Was it a screwdriver? Was it a wrench? Was it a
it was a
pokey
wire.
tool?
A wire.
It was a
Oh,
wire.
okay.
It was a wire.
But it was
wasn't that bad.
allowed, and it scared us all, and we all
And
happened
it
to be
was,
standing
it was
around
only a
it.
few inches from his face, too, at the time.
Ooh, that's good.
So, yeah, top tip, double check the thing that you think is a ground before you touch it, just to be sure. And
Or oh, go on, Chrissy. I'm sorry.
well, turn the power off too is a good way. But
I
so
have
then
another
when you-
one, so
then
let's
you
go.
turn the power on, and then it's all short. So just use your multimeter, ohm it out, touch this thing, touch the block, or touch the negative terminal. Does it work? Correct. Then
Got
great, use it as a ground.
Chrissy, are you going to change the topic or talk on this one?
I'm going to change the topic.
Okay, so let me talk on this one. The very first thing in every Chilton and Haynes manual is unhook the battery. They're not wrong. Go ahead, Chrissy.
That's why I
But
like
when
the
you're
new
doing a lot-
battery disconnects that we put on the
Yeah.
circuit breakers.
Yeah.
So we just pushed the button.
But we had been doing a lot of different work. So there's plenty of things that Chris is trying to figure out if wiring works. We have to turn it on because he's looking at gauges. And then, like it doesn't always just work that way to disconnect the battery for everything. Doesn't always happen. Okay. Switching to another very quick, just the tip that also happened.
The tip.
Again, this is another thing that happened this weekend. Watch when you are using fire, watch where you're using it. Right. So like a torch.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, who's using fire and what are they using?
Well, we used a lot of little lighter fire because we were doing a lot of wiring.
Heat shrink tubing.
Heat shrink.
Sure.
Yes.
So we were doing a lot of that. And were we doing heat shrink tubing with
It was
fire?
heat shrink. Yes, it was heat shrink tubing.
Yes,
but there's a fuel rail.
Oh,
I was getting there.
Sorry.
Yes. So that's why when you and both of you, I caught you at the workbench. Eric is holding the torch. Chris is holding the heat shrink. And I say, there's an active fuel rail right there. Cause I had just dumped it all over because it was in with all the tools. So just watch where you're using fire.
like you disposed of the old fuel rail and you
No,
dumped
the fuel rail, it was in process. We were going to make a bracket so we could reinstall it. It was sitting on the workbench to be reinstalled with fuel in it.
Yes.
And then they were using a torch.
There's always residual fuel in those things.
Yes,
I was just telling him not to set the workbench on fire because the workbench is soaked in various fluids over the years too.
What, a fuel rail? Really?
It was 6 inches away.
Whatever. They're my.
Don't do that, kids.
No, don't do this.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
That's 6 inches, Mental. Totally is. All day.
That's wrong. Are we done? Just a tip.
Yes.
Do we have?
If you have to ask, then yeah, you're.
That's true. Do we have a show topic for next week?
Yes.
I've already said it like 4 times.
Yes, we do.
Yes. Tell us what it is, Chris.
It's the Pitt Race hangover.
Yeah.
Because even if you didn't drink at a race, you're still hungover when you get home. There's no way around it.
And then after that, we're going to talk about shaking down a car, right? We have
some guests.
We have some guests coming up. Wow.
Absolutely. I haven't firmed it up yet, but we've got a professional spotter that wants to come on the show. Carbon fiber parts manufacturer, an instructor and competitor extraordinaire, Josh Jenny, has repeatedly expressed an interest in being on the show. So yeah, we've got a lot of folks who want to come on the program.
I feel like after 2.5, 3 years of stretching for topics during the Rona, because that's how long it's been, right? 2.5, 3 years since the Rona's been in town.
This is March 458th.
Yeah. We are so chock full of actual race discussion to do in the next couple of weeks, next couple of months, that it's going to be really hard to keep us contained to just dick jokes or whatever it is that we do on most weeks.
Yep. You want the dick jokes, you're going to have to, the second season of Lemon's iRacing 21 starts on April 28th, I believe.
Open bunghole.
There you go.
Open bunghole. Tesla. Open bunghole. Thank you for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you'll join us in the world of driving, racing, and building, because everyone can be a racer, even you. If you enjoyed this podcast, subscribe. It is totally free. Then go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. Even if you hated us, give us 5 stars and tell us why. If you have any questions or show ideas, drop us a line. Drop us a comment on our Facebook page. Drop it right down there in the doodly-doo if you're watching on YouTube. Whatever. Look, here's the deal. If you're not following our YouTube channel, you're probably going to miss a lot of stuff. And our Instagram, you're probably going to miss a lot of stuff this weekend, because we don't bring the microphones, we bring our phones. So we're going to be doing some trackside stuff this weekend. Follow us on the damn Instagram. Follow us on the Twitters. Follow us on the Facebooks. Follow us on YouTube. Everyone Racers. You could also email us at everyone.racers@gmail.com. You can text us 484-243-0455. I have to set that up on my new phone. Go on, Mental.
And I had a great conversation with Tyler Stank about he is almost paid for his MX-3 with all of the sticky change. He is darn near $8 into this car. What's the most you ever found of sticky change in your car?
Oh, I could find $8 of sticky change in my car like tonight.
Yeah, it's in the center console.
Exactly. We're now officially on Spotify. Recommend us to your Spotify buddies, even if they live in Europe. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the shiny side up. Unless there ain't no shiny side, then just keep those wheels down.